Last Day on Earth and Frostborn, two different but very similar games of the same genre. With the most recent update to Last Day on Earth, I feel like it's time to take a deeper dive into how both of these games really strategize combat. While I know Last Day on Earth PvP is in its very early stages, I think reflecting on Frostborn PvP may give us a general direction on where PvP is headed and what the good and the bad is from it. I mean, when Frostborn PvP first dropped, classes weren't a thing, so I know it is very early and almost unfair to make the direct comparison right now, but I'm going to do my best to look at everything neutrally. And for the sake of ldoe PvP and for the sake of simplicity in general, when I refer to Frostborn PvP, I mean a solo v solo 1v1, not 4v4s unless specifically mentioned, as that wouldn't be fair at all. But first, if you haven't already, consider subscribing and joining my Discord, code right there. Trying to hit a goal of 25k this year, especially by summer. Is it possible? I don't know, but consider subscribing. I make videos like this all the time, deeper dives into very simple concepts. They really do give you a deeper insight. So yeah, consider subscribing. Alright, video, let's go. Before you can even go to a fight, you're going to want to be geared. When it comes to Last Day on Earth, there isn't really a whole lot of complexity to it. Go to the miner, kill it a bunch of times to get the armor and guns you're looking for, stack up on guns, be ready to enter the PvP zone, or buy it in the shop. When it comes to Frostborn, there's just a little bit more depth. While sure, you go to Odin's over and over to unlock the gear from pendant crates, you don't really need max armor. I mean, I guess it's true with Last Day on Earth, but a little less so. You pretty much need max gear if you really want to win. I suppose you're going to want armor that matches with the right class, but that's pretty much all the prep you need when it comes to Frostborn. Buying armor in the shop isn't necessary, as one, the only armor, purple armor, sold in Frostborn is Instigator gear, and that is terrible for PvP, and a good player in blue gear, even green gear even, can kill a weak player in purple. When the scenario is brought to Last Day on Earth, I really doubt it's possible in a straightforward 1v1, meaning no one gets the jump, no one gets the advantage immediately, etc. If you're in the lower armor and you have the weaker weapon, you're gonna lose that 1v1 in Last Day on Earth, less so with Frostborn because of classes. So I think I'm going to give the preparation point to Frostborn, as preparing in Frostborn is a whole lot easier and a whole lot quicker than Last Day on Earth, and it's a little easier in terms of what gear you need to even attain. Come to category number 2, fun in the moment. Now when I say fun in the moment, I mean the lead up and during the fight is what you're doing fun, not afterwards. I'll go into that a little bit more later in the video. Frostborn. So in Frostborn, you're running through zones, just hoping somebody would appear in the minimap, and purely speaking from my own opinion, this is just my opinion, I do not find this very fun. It's more of, when am I going to meet someone? Will it be in this zone or a couple of zones from now? And you're not necessarily guaranteed to run into anyone. You can go 8 zones, you can go 24 zones without running into anybody. And when you ultimately do find someone, very rarely do I find somebody on my exact level and skill class either. Either I find somebody who just figured out how to craft a spear, or somebody with a level 3 assassin waiting in the bushes. Well, I mean, at least classes make it a little bit easier to deal with both ends of the spectrum. Now, Last Day on Earth. And if I'm being honest, it's more fun when it comes to in-the-moment PvP and the moments and anticipation building up from it. Since everyone just kind of sits in the bushes the entire time, I'm always thinking, is somebody going to make a mistake and rush this bush without thinking? Or am I going to mess up by moving first, coming out of the bushes, people know where I am, and now I'm going to die immediately? Comparing to Frostborn, you really don't sit in the bushes for too long, unless you're playing a very specific class. I usually play tank, so don't really touch bushes. So I find the immediate stress and in-the-moment stress of Last Day on Earth to barely eke out the victory on this round. But with fun comes long-term fun, and here's where things get changed up. After sitting down to play both games, Last Day on Earth and Frostborn, time and time again, days one after the other, which one is going to keep me more entertained down the road? A week from now? A month from now? And that's where I'm going to have to point to Frostborn, solely due to the number of things to consider in a fight that keeps things fresh and interesting. Potions, spell uses, weapons, and timing of everything are all things that Last Day on Earth PvP really does not have yet. Long term, every fight is decided by who jumps who heals better, and all the things I really talked about in my 30 tips video. And while those are a good number of factors to juggle, long term I really just don't see myself enjoying Last Day on Earth PvP compared to Frostborn, considering Frostborn has all of these other factors that will change up a fight. Just someone using a different potion or using a different spell or a different class changes up a fight entirely. So I'm going to have to give the round to them. Imagine this. You're a free-to-play player who wants to try out PvP in both Last Day on Earth and Frostborn. You put in the work, grind for coupons, or killing the miner again and again, or killing mob after mob at Odin's to unlock caches to get purple PvP gear sets. You head off to a zone only to be killed by someone in the bushes. To recover, for Last Day on Earth, you're going to head to the shop and see packs that guarantee max PvP gear. For Frostborn, you head to the shop as well and see the shop that only offers blue gear. And as I mentioned earlier, Frostborn does offer purple gear as an instigator gear, but that won't really help at all when it comes to player versus player fights. So for this round, I'm going to give it to Frostborn, where you can buy the gear in Last Day on Earth. We're looking at this from purely a free-to-play player point of view for this round, and it is much more painful to grind back up without spending money in Last Day on Earth. And those packs in the shop are always just a tease anyways. For this next topic, I want each of the games to try and answer the following question. Where can PvP go in each of these games going forward? Last Day on Earth actually has a lot of direction which they can go in. They could add different armor specializations, clan wars, zone capturing, etc. Or a couple of comments have suggested add, like Fortnite has that storm coming in, which makes things more and more difficult. They can make a battle royale type. And while Frostborn can do all very similar things, such as a PvP arena or something like that, the core part of PvP won't really change. Or at least I can't picture it changing, but the only thing I can picture right now, just looking at the game as it is currently, would be adding new classes or new potions, which would definitely change up dynamics, but not enough to match Last Day on Earth's path, which they could go traveling forward. But if Last Day on Earth was left in the current state of PvP it was in right now, Frostborn would win the category of future very easily, as Last Day on Earth in its current state does not have a very bright future when it comes to PvP, especially held under the light of Frostborn. Now, I don't think this would be entirely fair if I ignored the 4v4 aspect. So let's compare a 4v4 in each of the two games. And I don't even think you need me to say it. I think one game clearly is superior over the other when it comes to a 4v4. Not only in Last Day on Earth can you unintentionally kill your teammates, there isn't a whole lot that would change over the course of a 4v4, especially if one of the teams gets the jump over the other. One of the teams gets worn down more and more as they end up running, and they eventually end up dying. Compared to Frostborn, there's a whole lot more. The healer needs to drop their heal to protect the tank, while the archers try not to die from a damage reflect taunt combo, and all the more trying not to get third-partied or something like that. It's a lot. So I really don't think this is an exact fair contest. Obviously, the point goes to that one. So just to recap over this entire video, I still don't believe it's a fair comparison to look at both of these games and hold them to an equal comparison today. Frostborn has had a year to develop and fine-tune its PvP system, while Last Day on Earth just dropped its own version less than a month ago. But comparing Frostborn's PvP system a year ago, no class system, less balanced, etc., it really isn't fair to compare Last Day on Earth's very early PvP system. But I also think that taking a look at both the good and bad of both games is very helpful. Who knows, maybe a developer of one of these two games is watching this, maybe that'll help spur some improvement, who knows. Anyways, I hope this video kind of got some insight into both of these game type PvP thingies. Let me know, do you agree, do you disagree with what I said in this video? Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I got a bunch more videos to make, and wow, they're already working on Season 14, so a ton of videos to make. More coming soon. Subscribe, ZD out.